Okay. Hello there and welcome, um, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, or everyone or everyone who is not in between, everyone who's outside the box. You're all welcome. I don't care about what gender you have or do not have, and which combination thereof. Welcome. Um, this is different than my usual streaming. As you may have noticed from the thumbnail and the title, this is a TDoR stream. TDoR is short for Trans Day of Remembrance. It is an annual event. Hello there, Maddie. Hello there, Sophon. Nice to see you. It's an annual event on November 20th, where we remember those that we lost. And you may wonder, why would we have a special day to remember trans people who died specifically? Well, because 350 trans people got murdered this year. I am not kidding. I am not joking. I am. I will. There is a link in the description if you want to get to the website where I got that information from. These 350 are the ones that have been compiled by this website, and therefore they are only reported murders. So this probably only touched the tip of the iceberg. These are also only illegal trans deaths. So there are probably many legal situations where trans people have found themselves in very dangerous situations. I don't know enough about the world state at the moment, but I do know that some countries do consider it illegal to be trans. Some countries consider it illegal to be LGBT altogether. So yeah. And that is only talking about murder. If we talk about self-harm and suicide, the numbers easily gets way higher. I don't have any specific numbers for suicidal trans incidents for this year, but I can tell you that statistically we are talking about 40-something% of trans people who at least has experienced being suicidal at some point in their life due to a huge lack of support among people. So, it's like this stream. It's not like I'm here just to be like, haha, fun, let's play. Otherwise, I would already be inside the game. I don't even know how to start this topic or approach this topic. Every year, it reminds me of how far we come and how much work still has to be done. Sometimes I'm scared on my own behalf. Sometimes I'm scared on behalf of other trans people who live in, honestly, way worse countries than I do. Sometimes I remember that I myself am part of the 40-ish% of trans people who has experienced suicidal thoughts due to a lack of support, due to a lack of love for people like us. And I remember that I could have easily been on that list, that compilation of trans death for any given year. And then I remember that all of these people that we lose every year, they had a life. They likely had families. They likely had dreams, and they're just taken for them. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm starting. I'm crying here. I'm sorry if I'm starting out a bit harsh and a bit dark, but might as well set the stage. Might as well give the context. This is my Trans Day of Remembrance stream. I'm streaming today If Found, which is a very great video game that is told from the perspective of a trans person. So if you don't know a lot about what it's like to be trans and stuff like that. And if you weren't aware of any of these things, well, consider yourself educated on transgender remembrance and on trans violence. But also, I hope that this game will be a little bit of a window into the idea of what it's like to be trans for anyone who doesn't know, and hopefully that can help with normalization and with building towards a world where we don't need a TDoR. But for now, we still need it. We still fucking need it. So yeah, let's dive right into it, shall we? So I hope the audio isn't too loud. But yeah, this is a game by Dreamfield. I actually reached out to Dreamfield and asked if they were okay with me streaming the game, and they said it was alright. So I think they're pretty cool with streaming in general. So if you want to stream this game, or if you want to play it for yourself, I highly recommend picking it up. It's not that expensive. You can find it on Steam. "750 million kilometers from Earth, in orbit around Jupiter. I've never been so far before. I need to go further. Only one more jump, and I will be the first to reach Planet X." Oh, that's bright. I'm still alive. I did it. I'm directly within the orbit of Planet X. I proved the theory. It's real. But where is it? I can feel its gravity. How can it be so small when its pull is so strong? These readings, something's wrong. This is a black hole? Yeah. Maddie just put in the chat. This is how the gameplay is. You are using an eraser to erase each layer, essentially, and that progresses the story of the game. It's a very fun little gimmick and very artsy, and I love the creative touch. It has a quick erase button as well for if you're lazy. I'll be using that a lot today because it's faster. So yeah. So this book belongs to someone. December 3rd, 1993. My name is Casio. Things. Okay, here we are. This book belongs to. I really like this art style. It's very sketchy, it's very cute. And I think it works really well for what they're going for. December 3rd, 1993. I'm home. My name is Casio. Things to remember. Number 1. Your earliest memory is your dad holding you up on the beach, lifting you over the waves, rain coming in. He said, "Best get back to your mom, or your mom will worry." You 2. You finish two goes of college. Your undergrad and your can we get that? Yeah. And your masters. Everyone thought you couldn't even survive on your own. You stick with it. 3. When people stare, just ignore them. Think about the stars and the galaxies and dark matter, whatever it is. Remember how small and insignificant we all are. You don't need to be nice to people who bully you. Never. Oh, there's a little drawing here. 5. You don't need a relationship. Relationships don't work with you. You can try to be normal and have a relationship, but it has never felt right. And that's okay. It's okay to be quiet and weird. There isn't much music in this early segment. It is a rather emotional experience, just so everyone is warned. Ma'am, Brett McHugh, age 52. Likes hosting the knitting circle in the house, watching Winning Streak on Saturdays. Hates driving to Castle Bar to do the big shop, mowing the lawn, the parish council. My favorite thing about her. Watching her slowly pick out a tune and the piano from scrappy sheets of paper. Things to remember. Number 1. She's from the mainland, from Westport. She jokes that she came for my dad, but stayed for his 5 sisters. 2. When I went to school, she started working on the post office. 3. She only knows how to bake a few things, but she has great commitment to it. Mom is determined that me and Fergal will pass on her brown bread recipe. 4. The only thing she kept of Da was his Sunday jacket, for me or Fergal, when we were old enough. The icon on the lower left, when it's there, allows you to see the English explanation for some of the words that might be otherwise cryptic. That's good to have. GA, the Gaelic Athletic Association. This is the organization body for traditional Irish sports of Gaelic football and hurling, which are very popular, especially in rural areas. The GA is usually a big part of the local community. Gaelic Athletic Association. Right, it's Irish story. Fergal McHugh, age 30, likes the Gaelic Athletic Association. A few scoops down the pub with the lads. He hates thinking. Things to remember about Fergal. My favorite thing about him. We used to go and pick mussels together in Keem sometimes. He has a photo in his room, him and his daps. Like the Irish version of prom. Okay. Sarah's there. Before she left for Australia. He's smiling at the camera with his big goofy grin. 2nd, he was the one who told me that Da was in hospital. He came and knocked on the door of my classroom, and I knew at once something was wrong. 3, his favorite films are James Bond films. He watches them religiously. When they're on the telly. December 4th, Saturday. I'm home for a month when I can get back to Dublin. Fine. It feels like I haven't been on the island in years. Research jobs, projects, long hours. Doing inventory in the supermarket. Anything to keep myself away. I wanted to write a letter to Mom. Hi, this is who I am. Here's my name. Ta. Couldn't. Good memories here too, for what that's worth. Tea. Hot water bottles. Say your prayers, sleep tight. Tea in Ireland also means the blend of Irish breakfast. It's an extremely high caffeine variety, almost always drunk with milk. Hot water bottle. A rubber container filled with boiling water and covered with soft cloth. Electric blankets weren't common in Ireland in 1993, so hot water bottles were essential for cold winter nights. Mommy loves you. Loves you. That word choice. Right there, right there. I'm fine. I'm fine. Sunday. I can't stand sitting around. I need to breathe. Back from mass, no air in this house. Nobody has drawn breath here since Das wake. Wakes are an important part of Irish funerals. It's an often upbeat get-together held the night before the body is buried, where neighbors come over, reminiscent, and tell stories that celebrate the life of the deceased. I pedaled down the road like it just went fast enough I could leave it all behind. There isn't any game audio right now? You aren't hearing like that, what is called, ambient music in the background? That. I see it here, registered, in Streamlabs. There should be, that might have cut up out for a second there. There should be ambient music. Set on Keem Bay. Keem Bay is a famous beach on the west end of Achill Island. It's incredibly beautiful, with yellow sand and surrounded by hills and cliffs. I can turn up the gain volume if you prefer. I can definitely do that. Here. I hope that helped. Then, I guess I can turn it up even more, I guess. What about now? Does that help? Then Colum appeared. Colum, it is you. Well, haven't you changed? Good to see you again, Colum. Call me Cassio. Nodded and smiled. You should meet my boyfriend, Jack. The weather proved the brightest day since October. Hey, Space Geek. Monday 6th. Fergal mentioned working at the post office again. No thanks, too many faces. It's fine. We'll just go down again. Like, how's this? Monday 6th. Fergal mentioned working at the post office again. No thanks, too many faces. Met Colum and Jack at the abandoned village and climbed up Sleepmore. Jack was all teeth and laughter, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed enthusiasm. I don't think anyone from Achill is that relaxed. The abandoned village is a local tourist landmark on Achill. Achill Island is the largest island off the coast of Ireland, connected by a bridge to the mainland. Okay, as long as it works. A band? You're kidding? No, really? What a young gun chance, a real talent chancer is. We're called the Banshee. Jack's on drums, of course. Colum's the bassist, setting the groove. Sean sings and writes. I wonder what he's like. Tuesday. Coming out with us if you want some. Space Casio. We're out in the big house. The big house. This is a common nickname for houses that belonged to the Anglo-Irish aristocracy in the years before independence. Big house. Out towards Keem. The three of us are living there together. It's amazing. Got hungry, went up to Dugard? This is another village on the north coast of Achill. It's always been on the tourist hubs on the island. To the tea shop. They make the only decent sandwich in Achill. Telling and hearing 5 years of stories, Colum had much more than me. Yeah, it's grand. It means that things are fine. Okay. It's grand. At least after we cleared out all the house bottles. All of the broken bottles. Come watch us practice. Okay, so they want us to go to a concert. That sounds nice. Maybe the month will be grand. Old rooms, old habits, old home. It was nice to be fed and to sleep in my own bed, although it felt like a coffin, so dark and so empty outside. I got up to think and to figure out how to talk to her. A plan. 2:12 a.m. December 8th. Things fall apart. My wee pet, what are you doing awake at this hour? Hey Mom, I just wanted to make a cup of tea. Oh, the pot's on. Lovely. What do you have there? Nothing? I thought you might be drawing. You used to do such lovely drawings when you were small. Our little artist. Maybe I should have gone to art school instead. You had so much potential. You could have done anything you put your mind to. Did you know Luke got a very good job in Castlebar, working for the bank? Well done, Luke. He said they're always looking for people. Said it's very technical, lots of numbers. Mom, not this again. Don't tell anyone, but his ma said he's making near 35 grand a year. That's not nothing, dear. Mom, I'm going back to college in January for my PhD. And what does that get you? What will you do then? Will you make any money with that? You can't keep scraping by, pet. And you know, we can't help out much. I'm going to do what I really want to do. Stars and things. Yes. The building blocks of everything. Well, okay. And how are you going to look after yourself? Not to mention, of course, a family of your own. Pat, I just don't understand this whole alternative thing. There was a great show about teenage faces on Liveline the other day. Liveline is an Irish call-in radio show about current events and social issues. It's not a phase, and I'm 23. Look, you're going to have to face facts. Settle down with a nice woman and get your life in order. Once you have children of your own, you'll understand. I don't want the same life as you and Dad. He wouldn't even entertain this for a second. We always wanted the best for you and Fergal. Then let me live the life I want to. How can this be the life you want with that hair and those clothes? It's none of your business. Oh God, you're really lost, Dublin. That university, it's changed you. You let it. You're not the person I've known. And what gives you the right to say who I really am? Don't dare take that tone with me. I am your mother. Well, you should act like it then. What does that mean? Aren't mothers supposed to love their children? Well, you have no right to say that. I've struggled every day to raise you. And if not for me, you'd be out perishing in the cold. Ungrateful, vain. Jesus Christ, I can't take another minute of you. Come back here this instant. And don't take the Lord's name in vain. And whew. That hit a little bit close to home. Okay. This might be a stream where you guys end up learning a lot about me. Should have a column door soaked to the bone. In my head I could hear Ma saying I looked like a drowned rat. Column opened the door. He looked at me once and took me inside. It sure is raining cats and dogs, huh? Hello? Anyone? Come on, answer me! Damn it, the anomaly, this black hole, going to devour me? Devour all of us? One last message before communication cuts out. I'm going in. If I can't save Earth, at least I will find my answers. Dr. Cassiopeia? Over and out. Doctor, I can hear. We can. Hello? An event. Don't give up hope. I like that. Is that a base? It looks like a base. Oh. Hi. I didn't mean to wake you up. Sorry. That looks comfy, to be honest. It took me a long moment to realize where I was. My head was throbbing. I looked around. It was the big house. Column's new place, the squat. My breath relaxed. 10:45 a.m. December 8th. Coming and going. Jack jumped through the sitting room door. Wakey, wakey! Even his grin was loud and happy. Food's coming! Lots of ratios! It's good music. Ratios is a common word for Irish bacon. Oh, cool. Colin was the next aberration at the door. His voice was much softer, encouraging me to get up while the food was hot. My eyelids still wanted to close. I didn't know how to say thanks, but I rolled onto the cold wood floor and pulled myself up slowly. The kitchen smelled so good. Should I turn it down again? Does that help? I hope it helps. Welcome to our fabulous abode, Casio. Sit thyself and prepare for breakfast extravaganza. It was the guy with the guitar, Chance. I didn't know if I had been dreaming. I complimented his playing without thinking. Oh, it's nothing. Had I said something stupid? I shouldn't tell if he was shy. I couldn't tell if he was shy or cocky. I think I outdid myself as always. I was salivating at the sight of the fry-up. Fry-up, an Irish breakfast including sausages, radishes, black and white pudding, toast, sometimes eggs. That sounds good. Oh, and with mushrooms? There are mushrooms! This looks good. They all seem so comfortable in their own skin, so open with each other. We were still sitting at the table when the Angelus played over the radio. Angelus. The Angelus is traditional Catholic prayer time where church bells are rung for a minute at 6 a.m., midday and 6 p.m. It was noon. Oh my god, I must have needed a big sleep. Ma would have had a fit if I was still in bed at home. Well, some days are just like that. You know, sometimes it's just hard to get up, you know. I wondered if I could go back. No. Or was there anywhere I could stay in Dublin? I don't know. Jack teased Chance while I just ate. I gulped down many salty, crispy rashers. Coffee, coffee, coffee. It is very, very cute. I love how artsy it is. A home. Even if that home is leaking and damp, it turned out the only suitable room for me left was their practice room. I felt guilty, but cared for. Just like home. Watching Toy Show with Colin was like being kids again. The Late Toy Show is an episode of the late night chat show, The Late Show, that airs just before Christmas. Big kids looking out for each other and eating too many sweets. Kiss me, honey bun. He's attacking me. Alright, get a room. We're going. Come on, Gra. Mogra. Iris for my love. One dialect would pronounce it Magra. Son. A quick way of saying goodbye in Irish. A shortened version of San Abal, or safe journey home. One dialect would pronounce it as Slán. Slán, losers. Our awkward silence followed. So, how did you three meet anyway? We all went on a trip to Tip this year from Castlebar. Trip to Tip, a nickname for a music festival fail which took place in County Tipperary between 1990 and 1997. It was some crack. I had my guitar on the bus. Literally the Irish word for fun. Okay. In the middle of a jam, Jack told me we were starting a band. I can't believe it. I hope Jack knows I have the musical ability of a broken wheel. I'm so glad I have you in the house anyway. How'd you even end up here? I knew this place a scary ghost house when I was a kid. A column suggested it. We were talking about putting together an EP and we needed somewhere to practice. That's so cool. We got an actual gig coming up soon. That'll be deadly. I wish we were a bit more focused on the music though. Sometimes I think Colin and Jack just like having a place they can be together. I was a little surprised at breakfast. They were so comfortable around them. It doesn't bother me. Colin and Jack are good people. They're outsiders and I'm an outsider too. And it's legal now anyway. About time. But it's kinda intense living on top of each other sometimes. So I'm really happy you're here. Now I can talk to someone when they're busy snogging. Hooray! You know, I think I did the leaving with your sister, Aisha. The leaving certificate is the university entrance exam in Ireland. Your family owns Niall's Chipper, right? Chipper's Ireland's fast food. Okay. My dad runs it. Yeah, we all get roped in to help. I remember when Aisha moved on into my class. I'd never heard a Manchester accent in real life. Well, she's back there now with my mom's sister. She's studying medicine and everything, just like mom. Cool, she was nice to me. I haven't talked to people from my class in ages. I left the kill so quickly after school. Everybody leaves a kill. I didn't think it would be so different when school ended. Tell me about Dublin. There must be all kinds of things happening. Gigs, parties, party gigs. Probably. I don't do much in Dublin or talk to anyone. But there's libraries. Mostly I read about physics and work and do computer stuff. My parents would love you. Well, I might be looking for new ones. Would they like another child? Night Casio. The Irish word for good night. One dialect would pronounce it as Ihawa. Ihawa? I love how artsy this game is. It is so beautiful. Also, this game is mostly a visual novel. Just so you guys are aware. It's also a relatively short experience. I'm expecting us to get through it tonight. Just so everyone know. December 9th, band practice all day. I sat in the corner and listened. Jack, you're coming in too soon. He huffed until Colin kissed him. By tea time they were playing in the dark. The house's mishmash of wires couldn't handle their equipment and the lights. I told them they sounded like Bon Jovi, but it didn't go down well. Jack shook his head sadly. It's a compliment. Not everything is perfect. It's cold. The house is freezing, the immersion doesn't work, and I've learned a lot about different types of mold, but who cares? Jack calls Shanta also nice. I'll figure my life out tomorrow or the day after, and wash my own set of clothes. 10th. A rare blue sky. I want to get out in the fresh air, and Sean's joined me for company. Spotted Mr. McGinty in a field halfway up the hill to the loft, her sheep running ahead of her. She whistled sharp. I don't think she recognized me, but gave us a short, swift nod before she turned back up the hill, sheep in tow. We talked about Manchester and Dublin. He was very impressed with my astrophysics. There was an eviction notice from the guards when I got home. Don't worry, we get one every week. The 11th. Woke up and Colin was lighting a fire. I could feel the warmth return to my bones. I chopped peat briquettes into thin slivers before the rain came. A common form of fuel in Ireland. We had to ration our fuel, but I just wanted the blaze going all day. Sean's put a tape as we hung some Christmas lights. The four of us laying around the living room listening to The Cure. There's a strange sensation in my body somewhere. Oh. I didn't think it would erase the things that were slightly off screen. Sorry, I hope that's fine. You guys can just go back and read it, I guess. I'll give you like half a second. Okay, we're moving forward. Sunday 12th. Sean's went home today and I missed him. Colin brought the rest of us to his auntie Maggie's. Colin stayed with her back when his parents kicked him out. She has a nice cottage overlooking Dugard Beach, half swallowed by fuchsia bushes and giant rhubarb. She called us all wee lambs, made us cup after cup of tea, and insisted we stayed for dinner. Chopped some peas and coffee cake. The cake was unbearably dry, but I ate a big slice anyway. We left before it got too dark. She gave us a huge shopping bag of food to take back. There were 4 selection boxes in there too. Sorry. Things to remember about Colin. He likes junk food. Goes weak at the knees for a pack of crisps, especially if there's salt and vinegar. Colin O'Malley, age 24. Loves bass, walking bass lines. Jack, Auntie Mackie, and they kill. Number 1. He'll take care of anyone and anything. That's how I met him, because he was feeding a stray cat near the school. He hates working in the Corrigans, news agents, cities this summer. The favorite thing about him is that he awkwardly rubs. Again, it was partially off screen, so I'll try to be more careful. For all his kindness, he has a wicked sense of gallows humor. His laugh is surprisingly loud, given how quiet he is. Colin doesn't do half measures. It's like the way he feels about Jack. He's always all or nothing. 5. Colin is good to tell secrets too, but he's not great for giving advice. He's not that good at making decisions himself. December 13th. Starting to forget my routine before I moved to the big house. I wonder who lived here before. Some landlord? Dead generations ago? At 3 there was a knock and then a bang on the door. I saw him coming through the curtains, so I disappeared. Fergal on his little post bike with a letter from Ma. Jack was the one who opened the door, the one who handed me the envelope. I haven't left my room since. I talked to Sean's. He had a solution for everything. I have no things, so we're going to get my things. Tonight the two of us will rob my house. Sister Bernadetta, Sister of Mercy, Castle Street, Westport, Mayo. The occupants, your tenancy of the dwelling at Crogorn House, Kiel West, Doag Akil Company, Mayo, is illegal, and an application for a court order of forcibly removal has been submitted. If you do not leave before the 14/10/1993, an Agata Siokana will be called in. Mayo is one of the 32 Irish countries. It's a mountain in the west coast of Achill that descends into the sea. You have a whole 24 hours of the termination date to vacate and give up possession of above dwelling. Any issues as to the validity of this notice or the right of the landlord to serve it must be referred to the Residential Tenancies Board. This notice is served on the 4/12/1993. Signed, Sister Bernadetta. Oh, this is gonna be so hard to read. My fucking god. I don't know how to explain that I am not what she thinks or wants. I don't know where to start. Will she ever call me Cassio? My son, dear son, I've been waiting for you to come home all week. What's happened all of a sudden? You're like a different person. Whatever it is, I know things will be right as rain soon. I want you to know I forgive you for the things you said. You were angry, and we all say things we don't mean when we are angry. Maybe you're afraid to come home because of that, and maybe you're afraid you ruined things between us, but it isn't true. I'm still your ma. I always will be here. This is the kinda delusional thought process that happens with transphobic parents. Like, they think they did nothing wrong, and they believe firmly the problem lies with the child, which when you're being a transphobic dickhead, you're being a transphobic dickhead. I haven't touched any of your things. I did notice some things you might want to talk about when you get back. We'll go through it all together, decide what to keep and what to throw away. She's trying, but she has all these ideas of how I should be. Missing you, your ma. She'd even consider she might need to apologize too. Yeah, exactly. This whole I did nothing wrong, it's all on you kind of deal. It's just yeah, that was hard to read. That was definitely hard to read. Highspan. I walked quietly to TDoR is a smaller village in the southwest of the island. 2. Open my bedroom windows using the janky hinge. 3. Pack up my stuff. Don't wake Fergal. Don't wake Ma. Figure out life with clean clothes. The clouds broke as we crossed onto the Bog Road. When I heard the stream, I knew we were close. (10:20 p.m. December 13th), the Bog Road heist. Before I met these guys, I couldn't have imagined the excitement in a million years. Actually, going back to that letter from before, like for those of you who might not realize it, like that mom was definitely, she was trying to to appeal to Casio. She was trying to say, hey, if you ran off because you feel guilty, you don't have to. Please come back home. I love you. That's what she's saying with that letter. The problem is that that she insisted on using the wrong gendered speech in that, which was the problem in the first place. That was why Casio ran away, because of the transphobia. And the letter shows exactly zero remorse in that regard, which means that Casio can't expect to go back to that without more transphobia. It just shows a complete lack of introspection on the part of the mom, because even outside of the transphobic situation, she didn't even consider the fact that maybe she said some things that were out of line too. But no apology, no nothing. And I can relate to having that kind of parent. Let's just put it like that. So yeah. Sean asked me if I missed this place. It sounded so final. I just said no quickly. I didn't feel like talking about it. We climbed up the stairs my dad spent 2 summers on. I remember fights about whether Ma should make apple sponge or apple crumble for dessert. I remember sick days at home watching Bosco on the TV under the blankets. I thought about our old dog Molly, and the way she snuck in under my arms looking for rubs, and how light she felt in my lap when she died. Hey, don't get your mud on my jacket. I'm in. This room never really felt like mine. How can such a small empty room have so much stuff in it? I should have brought a bigger bag. Whatever I can fit will be all I have after 2 decades. All my old clothes were things other people thought I should like. I didn't care enough to have an opinion. Or maybe this room is so blank because I hadn't figured out who I was. All I wanted was to sit in the back of the class and read books. My chest hurt as I looked at my bed. Part of me wanted to crawl into it, bury myself in the cool sheets and their familiar scent. Maybe this room lacks identity because it's always had to be ready for guests. Granny at Christmas, aunts coming home, cousins from St. Paul. Footsteps in the hall. You. Jesus. Oh wait, is that Mom? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I thought you were a burglar. Oh wait, no, it's this. I can see you, you know. Do you ever think of Ma? You completely gobshin. An Irish insult, another one of many ways of calling someone. Okay. Hey, Fergal. What if she had heard you? She's probably awake now, worrying about the robbers. Who's going to rob us on Achill? That doesn't stop her fretting, you know. Cassio, are you okay? Who's that? None of your business. I know you're living in the big house. What of it? A lot of rumors about what goes on there. They're all like you, right? No one is like me. You're the biggest freak around, that's for sure. I'm leaving. Hold on right there. We're not done. Chance, take me back. You're going to regret this. Sooner or later, your choices are going to catch up to you. I'm jumping. Catch me. Keep your bloody voice down. Stop. You're already so close to the event horizon. Please. Can you hear me, Doctor? Yes, I'm here. Who are you? Call me Control. Don't you have a first name? Something less formal? Control will do. Okay, Mr. Control. It's good to hear your voice. I thought I'd never talk to anyone again. How are your vital signs? Are you okay? I'm fine. Did you get my data? I'm looking at your readings now. The anomaly is definitely unnatural. And with its trajectory, it will intersect with the Earth in only 24 days. If you get more data from the event horizon, we can do something, right? Maybe we might be able to find the event that caused the anomaly in the first place. We don't have time to send a probe. I'll do it. What? It'll kill you. Don't be so pessimistic. Control? Like you said, there's still hope. This is reckless. Doctor, respond. Please, call me Cassiopeia. Our run collapsed into an out-of-breath walk. I realized all I wanted in the world was a bag of steaming hot chips and vinegar. I asked Sean about his dark chipper in Kiel. He was fidgeting with the zip of his jacket. He asked me if that's what I really wanted. His family would be there. I was too hungry to mind. If you want to escape families, you go to Dublin. You don't get stars like this in the big smoke. (11:40 p.m. December 13. Cassiopeia was over Kiel. Is Fergal why you can't go home? He's grand. I'm used to it mostly. We haven't really got on since I went to college. Well, he seems like a complete tool. It's Mama. I just can't talk to her and I can't handle how she looks at me now. We keep having the same arguments and talk about everything except the obvious. The only reasonable option left is to leave the country forever. Then she'd be stuck with Fergal. Oh god, that's a terrible fate. You don't sound angry with her though. I am and I amn't. She's done a lot for me. I love her. She raised us by herself. Dad would be away in Scotland for most of the year working. I'm sure she loves you too. Maybe we never really used that word much around the house. I guess it's not an Irish thing. My parents are so open with affection, it's gross. They have no shame at all. That's so sweet. Mom's been through a lot for my dad. He's from Achill, right? Yeah, he left for work and ended up in Manchester as a porter in the hospital. If I live in Manchester, I would stay there. If only. Mom even had to sign a letter to the priest that all the kids were being raised Catholic. She's still adamant that me, Tara, and Neil join Da for mass every Sunday morning, so the neighbors don't forget we're just like the rest of ye. Well, hello. Speak of the devil. Go on, give us a bit of peace, Tara. I just want to meet your new friend. Nobody in this family can mind their own business. What you mean you don't want me to tell Mom and Dad you're here? I'll see yes on Sunday. Isn't that good enough? In Ireland, yes and yous are common pluralization of you, similar to y'all in southern dialects of American English. And Casio, I'm living with the band now? Well, that's good. I'm glad they're still going. Neil bet me a fiver the band would break up before Christmas. They're all really talented. Talented and annoying. Sounds like my big brother. Lovely to meet you, Casio. Cool name. That's my wee sister. She's a terror. I like her. She said my name. It's cool. It is. It's nice to hear people use it. Really? I hate my name. Sean's? No, that's a football nickname. Neil on Sean's Agam. My name is Ishan. It's Indian. Well, will I stick to Sean's then? I mean, I don't know if that feels like me either. It feels like a character. But isn't that what a nickname is? You can change it. Your name is whatever you say it is. I was named after my grandfather. I can't imagine what my parents would say. The trouble I get into if I even suggested it. I picked Casio for a game in college and then it just grew on me? Yeah, of course. Wait, what? You picked it? Obviously, I thought you knew? I mean, yeah, I didn't think about it. That's cool. This is nice. Thanks for talking to me. The lads from a town would think I'm a weirdo talking about names. We're all weirdos. That's true. I used to wish I was normal more than anything. I thought I could fix myself. And then I realized I didn't need to be fixed. That particular line is something oh so trans. Like, because of how society works and stuff like that, and how people look at it, and how all these prejudgmental conceivances that you find when you don't have a community to talk to about it, don't have someone else who's like you, it can feel like you're wrong, and then instead of being yourself, you try to fix yourself. So you do stuff to try and be something you're not, and that hurts. That hurts a lot, and that's sadly a very common trans experience. C R dash egg R I R L. It's like an entire Reddit just dedicated to that. So yeah. It's sad, it's painful, and it's basically just denial. I'm sorry. Hey Punk, Mom says to come upstairs and stay the night. Alright, time to go, Casio. That will drive you back to dog in the morning. Door. We're leaving now, Tara. See you soon. Mom says you'll die of the cold out there. I love you too. Bye. Sean seemed to have such a lovely family, to be honest. The story of the heist spilled out over breakfast the next morning. Jack called us criminal masterminds. After a cold dripping shower, I got changed into clean clothes. Everyone was mighty impressed that I had different t-shirts. I have never appreciated doing the washing enough. In the evening, we watched Into the West. I made hot chocolate for everyone by melting down 2 selection boxes. It was a treat. Wednesday, I went with the gang to the post office to get a doll. Artist salary, starving artist, maybe. The queue was shocking, but everyone was friendly. People all ages, but mostly older. I won't let that happen to me. I won't get stuck in Akel, spending my evenings and my doll in the pub. The doll. I wait for employment benefits in Ireland. I kept the distance just in case Fergal and Ma were working. Colum got another written warning from the guards about the house. Sean suggested that we could live in the Seals cave up by Doggart Hill. Famous 5 styles. There was also a letter for me, but I didn't open it. They bought some cans in the shop to take home. I didn't drink. 16. We went to bingo. Me and Jack went to put up posters for the gig next week. Fox's Den, number 10. Cup of tea, number 3. Lovely Legs, 11. We got a few looks when we arrived. Most of them were older women I only ever saw at Mass. But we spotted Auntie Maggie and joined her. We won a shampoo gift set. Thank God. No one paid us much mind after that. We really need some in the house. Everyone looks a bit greasy. Does the chat still work? It's been a while since I've seen something in there. Things to remember about Jack. Age 25. 1. He comes from a big family. There's 7-8 children. Jack is somewhere in the middle, but I keep losing track. Hates sitting around doing nothing, rain reading. 2. He's vain about his appearance. He keeps trying to teach me how to use moisturizer. He loves sitting around drinking cans, cooking for the others adventure. 3. He talks about leaving Akel, like it's a question of when, not if. Colin's always wanted to stay. My favorite thing about him, Jack's a great person to watch TV with, jokes about whatever is on. 4. He likes making things, but he's not great at cleaning up after himself. Yeah. He says, but never gets around to it. And he gets sulky if you push it. I'm glad to see you still here, Silphorn. It's not about whether or not you guys are still here. Sometimes things bug out and the chat stops working on my streaming software, so I need to go find it on YouTube afterwards. So I just wanted to make sure. Because if it breaks, then you guys can write me as much as you want. I won't be able to see it. And that's just not good. You know? December 17. We woke up to a flooded kitchen floor. Burst pipe, Colin said, rubbing the back of his neck. Happens when it freezes, he said. Colin's head was stuck under the sink all morning, and he did what his father taught him. Maeve, Burkile? Maeve and Burkile, literally good boy, but used in context it means something more like, well done, you're the man. An Irish person might also say, good man yourself, or good on you. The pronunciation is ma an bohel. Sean and Jack helped with mopping and towels. I felt a bit useless, so I kept out of the way. Thought about writing a letter to Ma again. Sean's pulled a paperback from somewhere and tossed it to me. As a mop. One I'd read before, but I was happy to read it again. The wind was pushing us around, so... Saturday. Opened my letter this morning. It was from Fergal himself. What a bollocks. Sean took me for a walk down to Kiel and then to Akel Sound. It was lovely. I loved the sea, even with the gulls screaming their heads off in the pale sky. The wind was pushing us around, so we didn't talk much. It felt nice just being with someone in a comfortable silence. Ended up reaching the football pitch, and we sat on the new stone fence. We both bonded over being terrible at GAA. I had to go on Saturday morning for years, though. I couldn't do even the most basic drills. 19th. Part of the attic ceiling fell in during the storm last night. We saw it from outside first in the grey morning light. I could have been a lot worse. Colin used the tarp for Jack's drums to cover it, but that won't last. This place is starting to feel a bit scary. Sean stayed with us and we had a makeshift Sunday dinner with a leg of beef Maggie gave us. Found myself missing my MUD group. Told Sean about the computers and role-playing. I knew people in colleges all over the world. No one else from Akel though. Is there even a computer on the whole island? MUD multi-user dungeons. They were an early form of online text-based role-playing. Oh, cool. 20th. Tonight after practice we all went down to Keem to make a massive bonfire on the beach. It was a pre-gig ritual to ward away evil spirits. Everything was sudden after weeks of rain. So it was definitely magic that the fire started. No one from Akel though. Colum had some lighter fluid which probably helped. We sang songs in the drizzle. Our backs soaked the heat and the Craig was cheering. I meant to burn my letters, but I forgot. Hello, you got a letter from the university. Very fancy, seal and everything. Mom wouldn't open it. Said she couldn't. You know how she is. But I did. You didn't get that scholarship. Who are you trying to card? To card. To trick or deceive someone. Most often used the response, are you cutting me? Dosing. To be idle and doing nothing. I see you living with those wasters dosing all day. They're dragging their families through the mud too. Whole island is talking about you. It's weird. You're making a holy show of yourself. You always wanted us to think you were awful smart. Too good for real work. Sucked up to the teachers and convinced the cold pair to send you college. And for what? Fergal is a dickhead. Never mind the transphobia. He's just a dickhead. He's a bad parent. And he has no place trying to be a stepdad to Casio with his freaking attitude. Come on, if you want to be weird, do it in your spare time. Right now you have to come back down to earth. Fergal. What the hell do I do? Is he lying? Set list. 1. High cost of living. 2. No name. 3. Queen of Akel's tender death. Drowning at Keel Beach. 4. 80s ramp walk. Play louder. That is all right, Maddie. It is absolutely okay. That happens. I hope whatever happened is okay and that you're doing all right. Castle Bar, 10 p.m. Tuesday, December 21st, 1993. I could hear them playing. I wasn't too late. The floor was shaking. Columns spas. The dark community hall was a mess of bodies. Black tees with metal bands, denim jackets and badges. I pushed and shoved to see them up close. The lads looked incredible. It is absolutely alright, Maddie. It's absolutely alright. Jack was at the back, going wild on the drums. Colin's pass was perfectly smooth, keeping the others in time. Sean's guitar and voice had the crowd on tender hooks. I swear this game is so darn artsy. The band she finished, everyone loved them. So many tears. And well away from practice in the big house. After Colin, Jack and Sean left the stage, the room seemed to get even more packed. Darkness filled the hall. The music started again. When the lights came back in, I instantly fell in love with the first woman holding a guitar that I saw. I felt the rumble, I felt the distortion, I felt like a dork. She owned the stage in her massive boots. I jumped a fright when she roared, and then I kept jumping. The Nosferatu, the heaviest band in Mayo. I was getting crushed between people. I wondered if I was going to die. I didn't care. I just wanted to be there. Jack, he danced like a superstar. He started flailing at me and I joined in. I danced for so long I thought my arms and legs were falling off. In the anonymity of the crowd, I was free. The light came up, my eyes adjusted to the horror of the lit hall. Everyone started to shuffle out slowly as they recognized their sweaty friends, exhausted and happy. I was wrecked. I headed backstage to find the gang. Even the ground looked sweaty underneath the litter of lost beer cans. Jack announced a house party at our gaff. Nosferatu are coming. They're gonna drive us all the way back to Akel? Oh, cool. Hey, there you are. Couldn't find you anywhere. What are you doing in the attic? I wanted some space, and my room's kind of full. There are some people I haven't seen since school. Since the name of Casio Secondary School, pronunciation is Skull Downward. I'm not very good at talking to people. December 22nd, 1 a.m. Finding space in the attic. I didn't think. Will I kick them out? It's fine. I don't think they recognize me. Oh. I just want to chill and look at the sky. If my mom caught me smoking, she'd kill me. Mine's a bloody doctor. She sees patients with lung cancer every other week in the hospital. Maybe this isn't as bad as cigarettes. Still smoke. Well, we're going to die sometime. Yeah. When I was 10, my grandmother in India died. I never met her. And then suddenly, I never could. Mom told me she was cremated. It's strange, but I like the idea of her ashes going back to nature. Life keeps going. Atoms develop into proteins, into cells, into us. That stuff's hit you hard, huh? Shut up! The universe is 13 billion years old. And it just gets more complex, more intricate, weirder. Every second is totally different from the last. Are you saying we have to make the most of the time we have? You're assuming time is even real. Hey, can I ask you something personal? Totally. Are you, like Colin and Jack? I don't know, maybe? Does it even matter? And does that mean you like girls or boys? Both? Neither? I like sleeping. Yeah. I like being here with you. It's nice. Thank God for heaters. We were living in limbo, and then you showed up. Ikel is limbo. It's weird to see classmates who never left. We could be ourselves in Dublin. Imagine if we lived together. I'd like to live on a barge someday. We could live on the canals, and you could teach me about space. And you'd teach me the guitar? I could reinvent myself like David Bowie. For real, and not pretend anymore. You're pretending? I just think the guy other people see and the real me are very different. And who's the real you? I don't know. Not Sean's, not Ishan. Someone. Look, I'm telling you, give yourself a new name. Hey, can I hang up posters in your badge? Yeah, of course, you can hang up whatever you want. Will you have plants? If you take care of them, I'm a plant killer. I think I got a good nickname. Oh? The Barge Bard. Yeah. Hey, do you ever think about the ozone layer? Day 10 since first contact. There has been no response from Doctor. I have confirmed the trigger event for the anomaly. 14 days left until the event. When will it reach Earth? I got data. Please receive. You're still there. Of course. I'm a professional. It only took a few minutes to align my orbit and escape again. It has been a week. Control, I detect wormholes nearby in all directions. Space-time is being ripped to shreds. I think I can use them. First, jump was a success. You're back. My readings say I'm somewhere beyond Neptune. You traveled 50,000 kilometers in a few days. In a second. That's unbelievable. Distortion of space-time. And this is just the beginning. As the black hole expands, the time dilation will only get worse. I've been analyzing the data you sent yesterday and... Keep it up. Gotta go. I can see Ganymede. Hello. I have good news, Doctor. The source of the positron entanglement is Earth. Good thing I was already headed that way. I found something in the data you sent that might tell us more about the trigger. It seems to be be an image of some kind. An image? Is it of use? I couldn't understand it, but I'll find out more. Right, gotta go again. Bye. By the way, my name. The space sections are so surreal, I swear. 12,000 kilometers from Mars. Cassie, I made a breakthrough. I found more evidence of the original positron annihilation that caused the anomaly. That trigger event. It hasn't happened yet. Its effects are rippling back in time. Then we can stop it. Do you know what we have to do? Not yet. I'm still decoding this image. I'm more sure than ever that it's key. And I've narrowed the event's future location to Ireland. It's not far. I'll send you my location and contact. Call me as soon as you arrive. By then, we'll have less than a day left. Then I'll see you soon, Control. About that, my name. Jumping. My name is McHugh, but you can call me Mac for short. See you soon, Cassie. Got it. Don't be late. Mac. And put the kettle on. Yeah, the space stuff is confusing. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like symbolic, or how much of it is supposed to be taken literal, and it feels a little bit out there. I'm not sure, but it's fun. I woke up comfy. Light came through the roof. There was something heavy on my legs. I was still wearing last night's shoes. Oh god, is everyone still downstairs? 6 a.m. December 22nd, the back of Beyond. Was this someone's arm? Sean's. Hey, you're on top of me. Hey. Wake up, sleepyhead. Get off of me, you idiot. Idiot, a common Irish insult, basically an idiot. This is probably the closest I've been to anyone except my ma. Hey, are you still asleep? I was dreaming about us. I dreamt about aliens, so I know we probably shouldn't leave until after Christmas. But I've been thinking, what? So we'll need to find a flat first, right? Sean, what are you talking about? Moving to Dublin together, obviously. We were kind of out of it last night, but we are going to Dublin right? You serious? We're not going anywhere. You're like 18, 19? 19, I'm mature. I can't take care of you, Sean. I can barely look after myself. I want to look after you. Slow down for a second. Casio, it's hard for me to say this, but I have to. I think I like you. What? Get off! Jesus! Don't you want to kiss me? I don't want to kiss anyone right now. I really like you, Casio. I got that. I told you things I've never told anyone else. I didn't ask you to. You made me realize things about myself. I see myself in you. I have no idea who you think I am. My life is falling apart right now. You don't want to be me. All the more reason to leave. We'll move off this island and everything will be great. I don't even know if I have anything in Dublin to go back to. The PhD is gone. And your parents will be worried sick. Who are you to talk to me about worrying parents? I can't handle this. I'm sorry. Shut up! Please, Casio, stop. Please, Casio. Casio. Casio! Casio, come back. Oh yeah, this scene. That there is so relatable, I swear. Okay. there, Casio. Ah, hi, Maggie. Isn't the frost beautiful? Cold, though. And the wind is fierce, too. Yeah, it's a happy surprise to see you so early. Especially after your big night out in Castle Bar. All that music and crank. I didn't sleep very well. Well, there's nothing like looking at the sea to calm a restless mind. It was terrible leaving every September when I taught in Castle Bar. What's wrong, pet? Is it your ma? I don't mean to pry, only Colum said. It's a lot of things. Whatever it is, it's smaller than you think. These things always are. You'll go home for Christmas and it'll be forgotten like that. Colum and his dad are like cats and dogs. But doesn't he see them every year? I don't think so. What was that? Colum doesn't go home. He was with Jack last year. They had a frozen pizza. This year we'll have chicken though. You're joking. He didn't say that. Christmas dinner in that rotten house? The state of it. It must be freezing. And damp too. He just can't live like that. That's a disgrace. The roof will be gone before you know it. It kinda is bits of it. He could come to me. I love some company at Christmas. I think they're more comfortable being themselves. What do you mean? No, around you they can't just be open with each other. Oh, but I mean, you keep things like that private. That's just how it's done. We all have our crosses. We have nice chicken anyway, and Jack is making jelly. It was bringing it out in the open that caused all this trouble. That's an awful thing to say. Asking him to hide who he is, if he even could. Sorry. I should go. No, you're right. He does care about you, and he definitely appreciates you taking him in after Mr. O'Malley kicked him out. I hope he knows I care about him too. People used to say I was a bit queer. They say all kinds of things. People are mean. Hold on to the good ones. Colum, Jack. I could never hold on to anyone. I kept thinking there must be one good man out there. But there never was one for me. My father told me my only hope was to become a nun and get an education. Were you? You don't look like a nun. Almost. I hid from everyone, but I couldn't hide from God. Myself and Colum are more alike than I want to admit. I had to get a bigger goose. What? Tell Colum you're all coming to me for Christmas, and you're moving out of that place. I have a spare room, and lovely comfy coach. No ahs or buts. It will be the best Christmas going. And sure, we'll figure the rest of it all out on Stephen's Day. I met Colin when I got back. Sean's had left. Took all of his stuff too. I didn't want to talk. There was someone on my couch, so I laid on the floor. Yeah, her heart is the right place. She's just grown up in a different time and she has a hard time to adjust. I think of all the characters that shows colors of queerphobic tendencies, she is the one who she's the one who does the best, to be honest. I actually think that with a little bit of guidance she would do just right. Then there's people like Fergal who was beyond helping. And then there's people like Cassius Ma, who is so misguided that it is just out of your hands to find the help that she needs to figure things out. Especially because Cassio is her daughter. And that makes it even harder for Cassio to actually, confront her about these things, because there is this power imbalance between a parent and a child, because the parent will always think they have this sort of authority as the parent, so they have an easier time brushing aside what the child is saying. So it needs to come from like a different source, and besides, the child can't be reasonably expected in this kind of situation to be mature enough to teach the mother what she needs to be taught, like at all. Because when you are being uh, verbally abused like this, there's just you are not in an emotional place where you can do stuff like that. It's just not. It's just not possible. Things to remember about Sean's. Aishan Sean's Lavelle. Likes music, reading music, science fiction, Manchester music, his mom's cooking and music. Dislikes Akil, talking about himself, smelly fish, black pudding. Number 1. He gets on best with his brother Neil. They play football in the garden, sometimes when the weather's good. Age 18, 19. Did his leaving last summer. Bought his guitar with some cash from working in the chip shop. Free. He's never been to India. He doesn't even really know his relatives there. He wants to go somewhere though. His favorite writer is Arthur C. Clarke. I'm going to make him read at Swim Two Birds and he'll love it. 5. He's terrible at lying. My favorite thing about him, he traps his fingers on any nearby surface, hammering out little tunes. Oh, that's kinda cute. December 22nd. Things changed so quickly, before you were ready at all. Colin was upset and Jack was furious. He said that the Banshees finished because of me. Sean's told them he's done. I wanted to hide in the attic, but it was raining. Everyone from the party cleared out. Someone called the guards on us. A noise complained. We have 24 hours to get out. The big house is done. Maggie's coming back tomorrow to get our stuff. Maggie drove up to the house this morning in her old banger. You'll catch a death staying there any longer. It was kind of nice being scolded with kindness. We bundled all our stuff into her car, but then there wasn't enough space for us to sit. So myself, Colin and Jack had to walk. It was a very silent journey across Achill. We played dusty board games by the fire and we all warmed up a little. Maggie finally realized I wasn't always a girl, and she was very nice. I suppose no one ever expects it. Jack even kind of apologized for being upset at me. Maggie's cottage only has 2 bedrooms, so I'm on the couch again. It's a small one, but she has a cozy woolen blankets. I like it. Maggie O'Malley, age 63. I felt bad asking, but she just laughed. Likes tea, Viennese whirls, trad, music, paintings, the Legion of Mary. My favorite thing about her, the way she prepares tea. She uses loose leaves and she's really careful with it. There's a lot of art in her house. Apparently she's popular with the artists who lived around here. 2. She learned Irish from her grandmother, who didn't speak any English. Her grandmother left her the cottage when she died. 3. She taught English and geography. Dislikes cold weather, drunk people, licorice. Married 2 names from down in the village. 4. Before I knew her as Colum's aunt, I knew her as one of the readers in Mass. She still does it. 5. She has a lovely soft singing voice. Not just at Mass. She gets called on to sing whenever there's a session going in the pub. 24th. After my first hot shower in weeks, I helped Colin prepare for tomorrow's dinner. I was hoping I'd get to talk to him about what happened with Sean's, but I just couldn't. In the evening, we went to the pub for a Christmas Eve pint. I wonder what I'd do if I saw Sean's, but he wasn't there. Virgil was, though. I wasn't expecting it, but through the crowd our eyes met. It felt like a punch in the gut. I drank my diluted blackcurrant quietly and didn't look that way again. As we were leaving, he pushed an envelope into my hand. I wasn't going to give this to you. Dear child, the post office is closed now. This is the last letter to be delivered. Ferg and I both worked off our feet with the rush of cards. I recognize so many of the names, young people you were in school with too. All gone. Some of them in Dublin, some in the States or Canada or Australia. I'm glad you didn't go that far away, but you're not home either. It made me think. I heard things. I understand you're not who I thought you were, but I can't believe it. This seems so sudden. There were no signs. This is also very, very typical transphobic parent in denial. There were no signs. Like this whole, I never saw you do anything that would make me suspect you wanted to bridge the. Now I'm trying to say it in a nice way, but let's be honest. Transphobic parents say it like this. There were no signs that you wanted to change your sex. Meh, 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 meh. And Justy Harrow, hello. Nice to see you, and welcome to our little TDoR stream. I am sorry to portray transphobic parents like whiny children, but they act like whiny children. There were no signs feels like an excuse. It's like you don't want to reconcile or reflect on your child's history. My dad used to tell me there were no signs. No signs at all. And I confronted him and I told him, the walls of my room is pink. That was like my little are you freaking deluded moment. I had a very long history of very feminine behavior. Like my favorite color was pink. I wanted my walls to be painted pink in my room. I remember putting things in my hair, collecting girly papers and stuff like that. And I remember how I would always ask my dad if I could have my hair long. He would always say no, and it would always feel so awful. So it's like there are no signs. And do note that these things are like being feminine and being masculine is not necessarily this the equivalency of being trans, but it can be a sign. It can be a symptom. Symptom is not the right word. It's not a good word for that. It can be a sign. It can be like a little bit of sprinkle of the question: is this kid maybe trans? And so with all of these kinds of things, it's hard to like justify being like, there were no signs. And this is honestly what a lot of trans people generally experience with parents that go like, but there were no signs. It's like, dude. I'm sorry to hear that, Harry. But I don't think this stream is the right place for mourning your cat. If you don't know, TDoR stands for Transgender Day of Remembrance. And indicator, that's a good word. That's a good word for it. Transgender Day of Remembrance, which is a day where we mourn the people who have died over the past year. Not to say that losing your cat doesn't suck, and it isn't like a personal what's called and that it isn't a personal and emotional event for you, but this is about something else. And yeah. Okay. Well, let's move further. I love how the screen shakes when things are very emotional. This is sudden. There were no signs. You never told me you were unhappy. I'm sorry if all this is my fault. I must have raised you wrong. People do say it's bad for your child to be tied to your apron, but I just cared so much for you, pet. It's okay if you like men or dress funny or whatever it is. The world is changing. I won't get mad. Not on Christmas. Oh, this one here. I won't get mad. Not on Christmas. Like, does that mean you're going back to being your transphobic self tomorrow? And also this conflation of sexuality and gender really shows that while she says that she has heard things and she now understands, she clearly doesn't. She clearly hasn't done the work to understand what's going on in her child's mind. And also that whole whatever it is really feels like she's brushing it off. Like, and that's what the entire problem is about, you know? But I'm worried about you, and that's all. You're making life difficult for yourself. I just don't know where you'll end up. This line is also particularly indicating because this is like where she like blames Cassio for the issue. And don't get me wrong, like this is told for Cassio's perspective. But from my own experience, sometimes I've been out of line too. I have said some things and I've done some things that weren't nice to my parents in the heat of the moment. But the fact of the matter is, in the situation where you have a transphobic parent and you're trans, the child is the victim in that situation, and blaming the victim is never a good sign. It's usually like a huge red flag when someone starts blaming the victim. But, like, and if you could keep it quiet, sure. What you do on your own time is your own business. No one else should mind. This here also says a lot. This here, I'm sorry I'm breaking down apart the letter, but this here really gets on me and my nerves as well. Sure, what you do on your own time is your own business. That makes it says like, okay, I can live with the fact that you're queer as long as I don't have to look at it. So you just have to do it behind closed doors where I can't see it. That's like telling a person that they are not allowed to be themselves when they are just walking around the house. They only can do that when the door is closed. So what, we're supposed to stop being ourselves when she says, Cassio, dinner's ready? What then? Should we change clothes so that we can look the part of a normal person? Well, normal person, in quotation marks. It's trans people are normal. I'm gonna set that right there, but normal in the eyes of these people, it's like what she's saying here, what she's implying with the way she speaks and the way she like. And the worst part is this is not like a caricature or like a supervillain or something like that. This is just what a transphobic parent might realistically tell a child. And I heard a lot of these things before. It's horrendous, honestly. Like, she's not being malicious. She's not being mean for the sake of being mean. But her ignorance and her inability to want to change and do better for her child is doing so much damage. So much damage. Like, this kind of ignorance, this kind of not clear abuse, this kind of like, how to put it, plausibly deniable verbal abuse here can be so tasking, especially because it can be hard for a child to see if this is actually bad for them, not because these attempts at bridging the gap can make it feel like or seem like that their parents still loves them as they are or still wants to try, and so you try to bridge the gap instead of cutting out what is a toxic element of your life. And that's not something I say like I take kindly of granted, um, like when you cut a toxic element out of your life, if that's your parent, that is a huge that can have a huge impact on your life, and it's something that should not be taken lightly. You shouldn't just cut out your parent for being stern with you or something like that. But if your parent is legitimately like this, that's manipulative, and it's transphobic, and it's just not alright. And this is the kind of person that you definitely should cut out of your life, no matter who they are, no matter if they're family or not. Yeah, this entire letter has a lot of moments of emotional abuse. It's your own business, no one else should mind. I'll see you soon, we'll talk at last. I've been making mince pies. I made as much dough and filling as I normally do, but it took much. It took much longer than I thought without you, silly old me. There are so many. Fergal won't finish them by himself, Ma. This here is like a little bit of guilt tripping. This is a really, really minor thing, but the whole I made so much food that we can't eat it on our own. You need to come home because I have food. Otherwise, it's gonna go bad. Like, she's not saying it literally like that, but she's implying it, and that's just like, that feels like the dot over the I. Like, this is not the worst thing she said, but it's like, Exactly. Seeing you as the puppet they expect you to be, but not the person you are. That's a really good way of putting it. Christmas dinner: roast potatoes, goose ham, roast carrots, and parsnips, Brussels sprouts, onion gravy. There was so much snow. I wasn't sleeping. There was so much snow. I couldn't stop thinking about Ma's letter. So I was awake at 2 in the morning when it started. The gentle hissing at as it hit the window finally helped me doze. Jack woke me up early, eager for presents. Colin came in behind him with a cup of tea. 8:20 a.m. December 25th, extraterrestrial. We were all ushered into Maggie's living room with our cups in hand. I didn't have any presents for anyone. But everyone was so nice. Colin joked about it being the one he gave her last year. I was delighted to have it passed on. I wonder if Fergal or Ma had anything for me. Soon enough, it was time for Mass. Maggie was very kind about none of us coming to Mass. So kind it was obvious she was really disappointed. I had never missed Mass on Christmas Eve before. This didn't feel like Christmas. All I could think about was the letter and Ma. I decided to go home. It was easier to just go than to keep chewing on it. Cass, you don't have to. if you don't, if you want to go, do. Just don't feel like you've no choice. Family isn't. Oh, family isn't only the one you're born into. This is very, very true for queer folks. Often, when we find rejection in our own families, we find something we call found family. That's when we meet other people like us, who's also queer, who also been outed, ostracized by their family, and we bond over the shared experience. And then we end up becoming each other's family by extension of that. That's a very that's a very common way of finding, found family. There are many ways to find found family, but there are a lot of family that isn't blood relation, and you feel like more of a sister than any of my actual sisters. Don't forget that. The turkey's delicious, Ma. Thanks. What's wrong? Nothing. Would you pass some more gravy? It's so good. How was Mass? Oh, lovely. So I gather you didn't make it. It was hard to get there in the weather. And it was the weather that made you avoid us for the last few... Oh wait, that's not wrong. And was it the weather that made you avoid us for the last few weeks? The priest gave us a very nice sermon about the importance of family. Oh, were there many kids? Of course, they came out and told us everything they learned about the nativity, and why we must look after the needy. Margaret O'Malley was looking after myself and Colin for the last few days. She was very kind. She's a strange one, alright, taking in other people's children. Seriously, Mom? Can't you just be grateful that someone looked after your child? Well, you couldn't. Can I have some more sprouts, thanks? Is there anything on the telly for Christmas? Oh yeah, they're showing that movie you were in. What are you talking about? E.T., of course, though they made you a lot less ugly for the TV. You did love E.T. when we went with your dad. For months afterwards, you used to spend all day drawing the cutest pictures of people in space. I had one on the fridge for years. You never put up any of my art, Ma. 'Cause you never drew anything, Fergal. Shut your gob. Shouting, that's not very ladylike. Jesus, Fergal, what is your problem? What's my problem? You abandoned your mother and left her worried sick for weeks. Then you show up, out of the blue, and dressed like that. Oh yeah, he's absolutely horrible. Come on now, Fergal, remember the story of the prodigal son? Is that all you're going to say to him? I didn't come home to be ridiculed. I hope you came home to apologize. I'll give you an apology if I can get some too. Stop, let's just enjoy the dinner. I was peeling spots all week and I'm just glad we're here together. Now you see why it's been hard to talk. It's been harder to listen to this crap. Ma, I just don't understand, Pet. Why do you need to understand? Can't you just accept me? What me are you talking about? The one I've known for 23 years or the one I've known for 2 weeks? Oh, this one. This one I heard too. Oh my bloody god. I don't even know where to start. It's like it comes back to that whole, but there were no signs. This opposite gender you is not the one I known, so blah blah blah. Like, it's the same person. It's legitimately the same person. Just expressing who they are. Exactly, you never know your own child if that's how you feel. It's the same me, and I want you to know me better. I want us to be in each other's lives. Are you threatening to leave again? I need some air. You can't run away forever. Pet, come back. The air I needed was 2 kilometers away in the snow. And it was cold air and damp air, but it was quiet air. Oh yeah, it is very rough to go through. There's a lot of scribbles now. Happy Christmas. "26th, back in the big house. There was a strange burning smell when I turned on the light in the kitchen this morning. It's falling apart, but houses don't fall apart all at once. They do it slowly, piece by piece, room by room. The electricity isn't safe, and I don't want to light the fire. I don't want anyone to know I'm here. Sean's walked past the house today, headed for Keene Beach. He didn't see me. Our conversations are wriggling through my skin. At about 4:30, there was a knock. I blew out the candles and buried myself under a blanket. Are you in there? News around the town is you lot got out. Heard the guards were coming and scabbard. But then Alf told me you hadn't been seen at old Miss O'Malley's house. Did they turn you away? I guess no one really wants a weirdo like you around. Ma is worried sick about you. I can't believe she still cares. You'd think she had given up on you by now. I have. Actually, now I think about it, isn't Fergal the brother and not the stepdad? I don't know why I had that confused in my head. Oh, you see this? I'm gonna look that up at some point. Not while we're playing. But. Regardless, he's an asshole. Your language is pardoned, Silverform, but I think YouTube didn't deliver it. Sometimes when you swear too strongly in a YouTube chat, YouTube itself just censors it away. Either that or it might be under what's it called? Yeah, he's the older brother, right? I called him the stepdad earlier and I confused myself. He's the brother. Yeah. Hello? Hello? It's so good to hear you. You reached the voicemail. Damn it. Mac Hugh, please leave a message with your name and... Damn it. Where are you? If you would like to talk about my accountancy service, ring. What? Is this a joke? You're an accountant? Hello? Pick up, pick up. Tell me how to fix this. I don't know where to go. Your name and number, I'll get back to you. Except you haven't, Mac. I trusted you. Hello? You've known for weeks when I would have arrived, and now I can count the time we have left in hours. You have reached the voicemail of I have nowhere and no one left. There's no one on earth who even knows who I am. No NASA to whisk me away. No, not even an accountant from Mayo. Just some sheep in a field while a black hole devours the earth. At least I can witness the end of everything under a nice clear sky. Hello? I woke up coughing this morning. Hope I'm not coming down with a dose of something. I saw Sean through the window this morning again. I had to do something. So I walked out into the wind and down into the beach. Sean's! Casio? Hey, so, how are things? Oh, fine, you know, same old. What are you doing here? I thought you were with Colum and Jack and Dugard now. Jesus, you look awful. It's complicated. Of course it is. I was with them, then I was back home, and now I'm not. Yeah, you always seem to make things complicated and weird. I'm sorry, Sean. I was surprised. But we can fix everything. We can go get Colin and Jack and put the band back together. We can just be friends again. The band was a dream. It was never going to happen. It's nothing compared to what you've been shouting at the computer. Watch this. I totally get why. There's a lot of these characters that actually absolutely deserve some harsh language. But you were so good. We did nothing all summer and then played a single gig in a community hall. Where's this coming from? What happened to you? It's just reality. What about Dublin? What about Manchester or India? Don't be stupid. Herring off without money will only have me crying home on the phone anyway. God, you're like a different person. I don't even know you. When I went home, I found out about how people talked about a lot of us. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know. I liked you, but that's not me. Wow, do you hear yourself? You have no idea what it's like. I'm already an outsider on A-Kill. I don't belong in anywhere. I can't. That's why we have to look out for each other. I just want to be normal, Casio. And I'll never be normal. Not with you. Cassiopeia? Thanks for waiting. I made some tea for you. I thought you might be a bit dehydrated from space. You're an accountant? Yeah, I'm also a bit of an astronomy geek. Oh god. I picked up your signals. Did you not tell someone important? Well, I wanted to, but no one listened. And I had to do something. Thanks. Thanks, Mac. It's nice to meet you, for real. You're shorter than I pictured. What do we do now, then? There's also radiations on the far side of Akel Island. There's a bus coming soon. We're waiting on a bus to save the world? It's usually on time, and we can sit up the front. It's so cold I should light a fire, but even if I wanted to, there's no fuel. I had to break a chair or something. Getting by with blankets and hot tea, at least the kettle works. Maggie, Colm and Jack came, but I don't want to be a bother anymore. My chest feels tight and my body hurts. I can't stop coughing, and every time my head spins. Cassio? Cassio? Come on, Pet. You can't live in there. It's not safe. Sean's told us, Cassio, we know you're in there. I'm sorry things didn't work out with your mom, Pet. Cassio, it's not... It's like I told you. We're family. Please come out. This is ridiculous. Are you sure she's really in here? There's not even a fire going. We should call the guards. Something really bad could have happened. This is ridiculous. Probably left for Dublin. The two of you waste so much time on her. She doesn't even appreciate the half of it. That's enough, Jack. Come on. How did you know where to go? This is the image I retrieved from the black hole data. It had an address in the back. I hope you're right. It's getting dark out there. Find me Chunky Road, Lower Akel, County Mayo, Ireland, Earth. 13. The guards came back and Fergal with them. I almost called out, but I knew better. Fergal, this place is a wreck. I don't think there's anyone here. I know there is. I heard movement and I saw lights last night. I can't be wasting time on this. The big search is starting soon. For all we know, we'll find the body on the coastline. Searching this place will only take 5 minutes. I don't want to break the door down and find an empty house. The nuns will have my neck. Tell you what, I'll come back tomorrow after dark with PJ, and we'll see what we see. If there is someone in there, I'll get them out. I'm scared. I'm starving. I feel so sick I'm gonna die. Are you sure this is the right place? It's the only thing we got. Okay, pass the image to me and I'll put it through the letterbox. She has it, but the black hole is still here. It's still growing. Where's she? Can she stop the trigger event? She's mine. It doesn't matter. It's all in her hands. Now. Hey, Mac, if Earth survives this, do you want to see the rest of the universe with me? December 31st, the anomaly. I have to go somewhere. I can barely move. It's so cold. I'll burn the book. Oh, that looks like an eldritch eye or something. Oh. Time doesn't exist in a black hole. Every moment crushed together, past, present and future in one endless screen. No way to change anything. No way to move. Our little artist. No way to escape. You are the biggest freak around, that's for sure. Oh god, you really lost. To open that university, it's changed you. You let it. I just want to be normal, Casio, and I'll never be normal. Not with you. Why do you waste so much time on her? God, you're lost in Tupin. Two of you waste so much time on her. I want to be normal, Casio, and I'll never be normal with you. You're the biggest freak around, that's for sure. No way to escape. This is like memories haunting her. Oh, that is also surprisingly relatable. And I accidentally clicked out of the game. We're back. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything is 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 okay. It has to be. Everything is okay. You poor thing, you're burning up. It's okay, everything will be okay. Your mom is here now, love. I've got you, dear. I've got you, Casio. This moment is amazing because she's using her name. I've got you, Casio. There are many ways to interpret what we just saw. Like Casio almost dying in a cold house, middle of the winter in Ireland. You could make the argument that it was accidental, that she because she had nowhere else to go, she just ended up there, and she was sick and it was cold and it could have gone really, really badly. But between the actions of erasing yourself with the eraser and the fact that the game stops up and actually forces you to use your controls and not just use the button that erases everything, I like to interpret that that it might have been like a self-harmy kind of situation. Like, she didn't do anything specific, but it feels like she gave up, laid down, and knew if nothing else happened, she would not wake up in the morning. Maybe I'm projecting my own experiences onto her, but that's how I like to interpret the happenings. Not because it's a fun way of going about it, but because it feels like a very natural, what's called, worst moment in the story, and it affects me in a very, very personal manner, this particular scene, because it does awaken memories of my own, very dark, not fun memories. So yeah, as I said, playing this game, we're getting to know me a little better, a little more intimately than usually would be good. But I feel like this is the right place to discuss those kinds of things. And it's also like to say that this is not just a story. It's also just to say that this actually happens to trans people. A lot of these things. But yeah, amazing moment though. The mom is using Cassio's name. This is the first time she's done that. She called her Cassio. And that feels like a good sign in the right direction. But yeah. I also have some mixed feelings about them doing this, essentially redeeming the mom here at the end. Oh, hey, Sean's. And Jack and Maggie, and they're all here. It's just not because I don't think that it's possible for phobic parents to come around if they get educated and such. Yeah, it's a pencil instead of an eraser. But it's like, it's a hopeful little end note, but sadly it doesn't always go that way. It just doesn't. And that's also a reality we just have to face sometimes. I am happy for Cassio though. This is a good step in the right directions for her life. Oh, okay. This book belongs to 10 years since the event. The world has started to stabilize. Communications between towns, cities, and even countries are commonplace again. There are computers yet, but there is demand for accountants again. Mac makes reasonable living doing the books for local business around the West Coast. He's setting up a desk planned on his new cubicle desk when he hears the familiar roar of a spaceship outside. Cassiopeia. He runs out the door immediately, dropping a heap of folders. Long time no see, Cassiopeia says, grinning. Her skin seems to have been tanned purple by the strange cosmic star. It's only been a year, Max says, but I'm sure for you it's been many more. They both laugh. As he looks at her, Max's chest gets comfortably tight. He missed her. He wasn't sure if it was the conversations about space and science he missed, or her personality. I have some great stories for you, Cassiopeia says. I'll tell you about them in the ship. What? Max stares at her. Aren't you coming? She says, surprised. I came back for you, like we said. Doesn't know how to answer. I can't, Max says at last. Something soon, but not now. Cassiopeia stares at him, then nods. Mac? Yeah, Cassiopeia? Whenever you're ready, call me. I'll be there. I'll come get you. See you next year. January 5th, 1994. I've been awake for a few days, eating turkey leftovers, drinking cups of teas, and sleeping. I'm finally able to write without my hands shaking. Today is the first day I feel like myself again. Colin comes around a lot. Every day since I was found, Jack comes too, but he doesn't stay. Yesterday Colin brought cake from Maggie, and today he brings me a new journal. He found the remains of the old one in the big house. I'm sad to have lost all my drawings and my writing. I haven't seen Sean's, but Colin says he's asking for me. I tell Colin to say hi. We are all still awkward with each other. Jack and Colin too. I think everyone feels hurt. Jack's cooking a Polish rages. Soon I'll be well enough to climb Krogan with them again. December 31st, 2018. Sometimes I wonder if I'll remember it, and what for. The noble part of me says it's enough to be well loved and live a good life. The ambitious part of me wants a theorem in my name, or at least a nebula. And this is where you get to put yourself in the book. Basically be Cassio. What's called? But how she turns out in 2018, which is like, what, 30 years from the story. Yeah, this is a fun part. I think it's great. I guess I can't pick the hair color I do have on here, so guess we'll pick my natural hair color. I do like flowers in my hair. Always have. I think these are very cute. And there's no hoodie here that works with this one, but I guess this one is the same color scheme. That works. Oh, you can pick color scheme. That kind of helps a bit. Guess this one is close to being the hoodie. It's close enough. Okay, that's hilarious. I think that's the Italian flag. But yeah. But yeah, That's if found. Was it the Irish flag? You know what? That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Irish flag. Doesn't that have like a crest in the middle, or do I misremember something? I probably misremember. If that's the Irish flag, that makes perfect sense. Right, the Italian flag is similar, but it's like it's red and not orange, right? Getting my flags mixed up here. That's embarrassing. But yeah. For those of you who can stomach it, I don't recommend, but I say that if you're willing to, you can go through the list of what's it called? You can go into my video description and check out the website TDoR, and if you fiddle around in there, you will find the a list of the 350 murdered individuals and how they died and stuff like that. If you want to give them, I tend to mull it over. At least some of it, not all of it, but some of it, because I want to not necessarily know how people kill trans people, because that's honestly really hard on my emotions, on my emotional state, and I feel it in my heart whenever I read those stuff. But because a part of me feels like we shouldn't just let these people be lost to time. I'm glad someone actually has compiled this data so we can look it up and remember those we lost. That also helps us move forward. So yeah, if you want to, it's down there along with other data like I don't know, suicide rates and other things. Right, there is a post-credit story. Yeah, why not? We can do that. We can do that. We are still fine time-wise, so we can do that. 1994 through 1998. Going by time. May 15, 1994. Sean's directions lead me to a bar in Galway and then up the stairs to a tiny room. I can't imagine if it fits more than 30 people. The new band don't even have a name yet, but he was real excited for me to come on the phone. I'm a little nervous coming by myself, but I want to hang out with Sean again. Music's so different to what the band she played. It's heavy but kind of funky, and I find myself dancing without a thought. Afterwards, Sean's come over. He has a little gold hoop in one ear. He's full of confidence. He's on high after playing guitar. We're full and talk for hours. He's excited about doing audio production because in September, but first he's going to go to New Delhi for the summer with Tara. They're going to visit some relatives they never met. Aunts, uncles, cousins of cousins. Do you have somewhere to stay tonight? My couch is always open. Sounds good. I haven't slept on a couch in a while. This place is small, but it has a lot of posters and a few plants too. When it's time to say goodbye, I give him a huge hug. Sean's. They're my best friend. We've been through so much together. They know me better than anyone else ever will. August 8, 1994. Ma and I drive down to Kiel. The sight of the long curving beach underneath the Minuan cliffs always makes me feel nice. It took a lot of willing to get Ma to even think about joining me for a swim. And now that she's here, she's having second thoughts. Jump in and you'll get used to it in a second. She shrieks when the waves wash past her. I keep encouraging her to find, and finally after a few tentative minutes and one final scream, she gets down. I let myself go and let the waves throw me around. I taste the salt water in my mouth and gasp for breath and enjoy being alive. And most of all, enjoy sharing it with Ma. The water's cold, but the wind is worse. So, wrapped in towels, we dry it the best we can and head to Neil's for tummy warming tips. Tara's working and waves at me. I'm going to be teaching a class in September. I tell Ma. A tutorial class. I can start paying you back a bit soon if you want. I'm just glad you're happy, she says. If being yourself makes you happy, then that's all I want for you. I swear, it is a very... It's not all formally queerphobic parents that comes to that point. But if you are the queerphobic parent in a parent-child relationship, please try to get there. You will thank yourself later for it. Just trust me. Teaching makes me happy. I love helping people learn, and you know what? I think I might be good at it. Thanks for being here. Ma. It's funny how you become your parents. Even so often I catch myself doing something and realize it's exactly what Ma would do, and it always makes me smile. Saturday, 27th June 1998. We just about make 6 p.m. train to Castlebar before it leaves. Colin will be on the lash for the rest of the day, and that's not my thing. So I'm escorting Maggie back to Achill to make sure she gets home safe. I want to make sure she knows we're grateful. She came all the way from Dublin for Pride to support myself and Colin. I don't think she expected the welcome she got. Everyone wanted so much alongside warm, cuddly Granny. She was the center of attention all day. Maggie's still absolutely glowing as she reclines in her seat and unwraps the tuna mayo sandwiches she made us this morning. She asked what I enjoyed the most. The rainbow flags on the quays. The lifeless Liffey was transformed. She mentions the gay silly a couple nights before. I haven't danced like that in years. Maggie thinks for a moment, takes off her glasses and polishes them and sets them back on her nose. When I was young, she says suddenly, I knew a German woman. Hilde. She was nice. She taught in my school for a few years. She loved a good silly. Hilde told me about the parties they used to have in Berlin. She couldn't be herself in Ireland, and I was terribly sad when she left. She would have loved this week. I want to comfort her. Maybe you could go to Berlin sometime. She thanked me and mentioned the weather. Outside, the landscape flashes past green and green and green on the cloud-speckly sky. In the city, changing seasons always seems very sudden. Maggie. Some people might consider Maggie's life to be a sad story, but I admire her. If I get old and stay half as kind and generous as willing to take in lost youth as she is, I'll be very happy. Year 1, 6 months after the event. The dark matter storms have ceased and the black hole radiation has diminished. Cassiopeia has been searching along the west coast for parts that could be used for create a small spaceship. The humans left alive are scattered across the land, panicked and sometimes dangerous, so Cassiopeia keeps to herself. It's good thinking. Everything is so different now. It has been hypothesized that black holes are the seeds of a new universe. Cassiopeia can't be sure. Her opinions change from day to day. Did 100 unlikely futures separate and branch out, blooming like a wild garden? Cassiopeia sits alone by campfire one night in June. She spots someone watching her from the bushes. She stops playing with her makeshift radio and says hello. As they approach, Cassiopeia is struck by their face. They're so young, hardly more than a kid, but so tired too. Huh, that looks like Sean. What's your name, Cassiopeia? Says. Anius tosses them a can of meats and a blanket they eat quietly and hungrily. Over the next few months, Anya and Cassiopeia become inseparable. They make a good team. The last missing piece is fuel. It takes months, but one day Anya sees something shining on the beach. Cassiopeia runs to them. Her heart fills with hope. It only takes a few more days to have the ship ready to leave Earth. Anya has gotten quiet again. I guess you'll be leaving now, they say, looking down the ground. Yep, Cassiopeia says, we're leaving as soon as I've done my last safety check. There's room for 2 if you want to come. Their eyes light up and Cassiopeia sees them really smile for the first time. This down here? That's completely out of whack. Sorry. 4 years since the event, Cassiopeia drops down out of the atmosphere, above Akil with the latest load of supplies. She has been coming regularly to help the communities rebuild and help them build protections against the wild things that have grown up in the vacuum of the anomaly left behind. As she approached the Kill Post office, the sea is swarming around it, teeming with tentacled horrors slamming against the tiny building. There's a gun firing desperately through its window. Homing missiles. Cassiopeia fires the last quantum homing missiles, one she has kept in her reserve. The flames spread from tentacle to tentacle. The sea resides, taking its terrible horrors with it, and Cassiopeia lands immediately. She rushes inside and finds Britt McHugh holding her shotgun in her hand, looking tired but very much alive. Well, you're sight for sore eyes, Britt exclaims and hugs Cassiopeia tight. Britt puts on the kettle and they sit down to catch up. Sometimes I don't know how we keep going, Britt says. It's all we can do to hold this place together since the event. There are places that haven't fared nearly so well. I've seen mountains reduced to rubble, and towns in ruins underneath forest and four-leaf clothes. You're doing well. Britt sighs and looks down at the table at the heap of a half-woven crosses she was making before the terrifying interruption. You still make them? Cassiopeia asks every year. It's almost February now. I give them out around the villages for people to hang up. Tradition is important. Maybe someday soon they'll start calling you Saint Bridget, Cassiopeia says and smiles. Before she leaves, she gives Brett a little token. One extra thing she squeezed into the cargo hold. An encyclopedia by rebel anti-authority publisher about distant stars and strange evolving worlds, so she can know that people all around the galaxy exist and thrive. Six years after the event, Cassiopeia should have known better than to take risk in authority space, but here she is, an airlock staring her in the face, and her final moments closing in all too quickly. She thinks about Arno. It would be nice to talk to him one last time. The bone freezing cold of space hits her face and she closes her eyes. And then, warmth. She opens her eyes again and finds herself in the hold of an Ares fighter, two elderly women staring at her. Who are you? Welcome to the CS Akel Sound. I'm space pirate Max O'Malley. Max O'Malley, the one and only. And this is Captain Hildegard. We've been tracking the authority for a few days. What happened to you, kid? So that's apparently Maggie and Hilda. Interesting. Cassiopeia tells them her story while they grin at each other. We'll take you as far as Kronos, O'Malley says. Then you can figure the rest out for yourself. Cassiopeia's eyes light up. Come with me, she says. The authority will be after us for now. Don't worry about us, Captain Hill, they laughs. We're old alright, but we're the most experienced. Space dogs you'll find in any corner of the galaxy. Space pirate Brit, Max interrupts. There's something we're forgetting. I've set the ship to warp for now. We're safe as houses. So, let's go make copper space tea for you, my wee lamb. You must be parched. June 1st, 2012, 14, 14, 16. Mars, September 9th. September 9th, 2012. Fergal's baby, Kyome, is a lot cuter than I expected. I think she resembles Valerie, but no one else sees it. Valerie is a mouse donegal woman. She wears a lot of makeup and complains about it. I think she's great without it too, but I don't dare say. The two of us find it hard to make conversation at the best of times. The christening is uneventful despite all the fuss beforehand. Valerie wanted us all up in Donegal. She's a bit younger than Fergal and very much a home bird. At dinner in the hotel, everyone is friendlier than I was worried about. Almost all the chat is around upcoming All-Ireland final between Mayo and Donegal and whether Mayo can lift their Sam Maguire curse. Sam Maguire curse. This is a reference to an old urban legend that Mayo, the county Akel is in, can't win the National Gaelic Football League until all the members of the 1951 team are dead. As of May 2020, the legend still hasn't been proven false. That's interesting. The local Fine Gael councillor drops by the hotel to say hello. The Fergal smug light. Hello, Fergal. Me and Fergal are still not very close, but we're polite to each other. He spent years trying to make my ma mad at me for being trans, so I'm happy with politeness. Ma mentions my book, and sure it isn't as good as a baby. I'm not sure she means it or if she's even read it. She falls asleep in the car as she drives us home. Ma. Mom relaxed as she got older. Some of that was money. Once Fergal and I were both settled and doing well, things were easier. And she loves being a granny, there's no doubt about it. October 2nd, 2014. I'm on the tube on my way to give a public lecture in Science Hall when I see him. Standing on the far side of a very full cabin at a door in a tan coat. Jack. It's me a long moment to put it together in my head, and by the time I realize he has hopped off. He's well kept. Handsome even. He's been living well. I get off at Oxford Circus and jog to get to my lecture. I'm already cutting it close. I return to my hotel after an evening of black holes and event horizons. On my laptop I look up Jack online and find him. Even though it's been years, he seems so familiar. How's she cutting Jack? I lie in the bed with the lamps off. Streetlights peek through the curtains. I can't sleep as waves of feeling wash over me. Nostalgia. Jack. When Colin and Jack broke up, I was devastated. It was only years later that I could look back and see the cracks in their relationship. December 24th, 2014. Maggie comes over to myself and Ma for Christmas dinner this year. Fergal is with his wife and Colin is away with visiting friends. I have really missed Christmas in Achill. I find the quiet atmosphere relaxing. After dinner, I cozy up in front of the fire with a book and Christmas pudding. In the afternoon, everything gets a bit more hectic with baby Kayome. So I bring Maggie home and she invites me for a last drop of tea. I tell her it was lovely to have her. She should come again next year. And she sighs. I don't think there'll be a next year, lamb, she says with a laugh. Not if the doctor's right. I'm not sure what to say, so I just hug her. She looks out the window. The one thing I want to do is preserve all my old photos. It would be such a shame to lose them. I tell her about how I can digitize them, and she loves the idea. We open all the presses to find every last album she has. That night I start to look through them. There must be 5,000. My favorite is Gollum on his communion, dressed in a tiny suit with a bow tie. He's holding his hands together in a prayer. Maggie and I weren't born family, but we definitely became family. Even Ma accepted her in the end. June 13, 2015. This evening there's a variety of shows of trance performers and artists. The walls of a small cafe are covered in art. The place looks amazing. I'm helping Sarah set up late afternoon and carefully carrying a big stack of plastic chairs over loose cables when Anu walks in. In between excited conversations, we barely have a place ready in time. We don't get to hang out with each other as much these days. A couple of hours later and the place is buzzing. The audience are a wide mix of people, some dressed to the nines, some shrinking in the corner. I see Anya's wife when she comes in with the kids and go to say hi and watch beside her. When it's Anya's turn to perform a spoken piece about coming out as non-binary, and their name changing from Ishan to Shans to Anyu, a name I take as my heritage, a gift from my lineage. Unlike me, they're okay with being called Shans by very old friends, or Da by their own kids, but Anyu is what feels right. My heart is happy to see they've grown since we've known each other. Something I want to say about Anyu specifically is that they show a lot of like throughout the story, they say that they see themselves in Casio. It's like there's a part of them that knew they were trans too, and that Casio poked at that. Also, that very frustrating sentence they say, "I just want to be normal. I can't with you." It's like it's that whole denial thing again. How trans people try to fit the mold of normal, because we're taught that we're not allowed to be ourselves. At the end, the three kids scramble up on stage and the four of them perform a song together. They're good, of course. Anyu has been playing music and singing with them since they were tiny. But I think it's their combined sweetness that hits the crowd most of all. I'm glad Anyu got where they needed to. I'm proud of the person they've become. They've struggled against discrimination and fought hard to find their own identity, but they're still generous and compassionate and brilliant. May 22nd, 2016. Colum and myself are doing last-minute wedding preparations in Maggie's old cottage. He's been renting it out for the past few summers since he saw the big house renovated into a posh B&B. We spent the day making sure the cottage is spotless before Chris's parents arrive. Your family are the people who care about you, Colin, and will all be there. Just before we leave, Colin places a box of chocolates in his bedroom. Chris loves surprising, and hopefully his parents do as well. Colin has always formed with spontaneous people, and when I tell him, he smiles. He says Chris is good at keeping him on his toes. We wanted to have a wedding today, Colin says, in celebration of their referendum last year, but it was booked out everywhere. He asked me if I will marry. I would love to, but I just love too many people. We burst out laughing. He tells me I never change and pats me on my head with a rolled up wedding brochure. Colin. Colin's put too little value on his own happiness and too much value on the happiness of those around him. Thank God Chris is able to see when he's wearing himself thin for other people. And that ends today's stream. I hope you all enjoyed the stream in the capacity that you can enjoy something like this. I hope that a lot of you learned something, and when I sign off here in a second, I hope you'll take a moment of silence for the ones that were lost. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and till next year, till next Trans Day of Remembrance. Thank you and bye.